I don't know. Mine might have been on.
You're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube.
I'm not ready for this yet. But I guess we're going to be. And on YouTube, we let Roy
There we go.
pick if I can. Damn, this purse is so heavy.
Yeah, because you got 17
It's
tubes of
ridiculous.
lipstick.
No, I got really one day we should do like a half hour just on all the crap that's in my purse. Ooh, this one's cool. This one's called Skip the Gym, which we're doing because they're still not open yet.
Yes.
Friday.
Hopefully they'll be open next week. They were supposed to. The big announcement was supposed to be today.
I thought he did that.
No,
He didn't announce it?
Nope.
Why? We'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
Anyways, this one's called Skip the Gym by Almay.
Skip the Gym.
I love it. It's a very summery kind of color. Huh, Jess? You want to try it? All right. Whatever. Good pick.
Hey, at least I did something right once this week.
Yeah, this one left the broadcast going. Not even knowing. Genius. Anyways,
That was fun.
that was. Ready whenever you are.
Yeah, we're waiting for the illustrious YouTube to come on.
Facebook, you mean? We're already
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Something like that. There's that funky slide guitar music. Comes in every day live at 5 on Newswire on Facebook and YouTube all across the World Wide Web. So everyone in the entire 7 billion, well, maybe not the entire 7 billion. I guess not everybody's wired for the internet, but anybody
They should be. Anybody that
is
missing out.
wired to the internet can hear us on that. Go to Facebook, IE Newswire, or YouTube, IE Newswire, and you can pick up the show. Or you can even, like I said, go to YouTube, and those of you who do not do our or listen to our first couple of minutes segments on YouTube before we come on Facebook, you gotta roll into those because they're absolutely fabulous on there. I think
They're great. He picked a good color today.
yes, again, there's we won't want to give you the surprise
We
of
won't.
what, but we're going to make you go to YouTube, IE Newswire, to see the fun that
And make
starts
sure you
on that.
subscribe to the channel so that way you get notified
Yes.
every time we come on.
That
You wouldn't
and-
want to miss it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to miss those first segments. They're absolutely hilarious.
Also, go to Instagram and like our Instagram page too.
Yes, we do have an Instagram page.
I think so.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if anyone really pays attention to it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think
you
we
should
ever.
all go on there and like it anyways.
Yeah, we should promote it a little bit. Maybe somebody will actually pay attention to it.
Maybe.
Of that, lots of stuff coming. Man, news was breaking all over the place. So let's get into it. We'll have Tom Del BECCARO at the after the bottom of the hour coming on again to explain. Him and attorney Mark Moisier have started a recallgavin2020.com. Of that, he'll update you on all the stuff on that. But first, the big story of the day in the IE was
Definitely.
the big that everybody woke up to on that about 5:30 this morning. I guess the fire broke out at the big Amazon warehouse by the I-10 freeway there in Redlands. We have some video to show you. This is exclusive. This is from Batman Jesse Gordon, who races the figure eights out at Paris Auto Speedway, which hopefully we'll be getting back to. But roll the video on there a little bit. He's going down the freeway. He was there I think about 6 o'clock this morning. And he's looking at his windshield on that. He got some pretty good footage of it.
He did get great footage
It
of
was,
that.
I mean, that thing went up fast. And according to, then we'll have the San Bernardino Sun article on here in a bit. But as this video rolls through, but I guess the building was a total loss, and it looked that way. I mean, from the aerial shots from the helicopters and stuff, I mean, it looked like it was totally gutted. I mean, I think the only thing that was standing was the outside perimeter square concrete.
Some of
tilt-up.
it, because it looked like one part of it kind of actually collapsed in.
It could have, by the time when the roof, when the roof burns out of it, that kind of helps support the walls
Right.
on that. So that it probably did have that on that. So go to the SB Sun article on that. We'll get an update on the. You'll pull that up on my screen. Pull the SB Sun article up, And but no, it was a devastating fire. I think that's about 1 million square foot tilt-up building on that. So we'll look at it here on that. There's the picture. Show the picture there of the
That
in the
is-
San Bernardino
wow.
Sun of that. That's a little bit later than Jesse, because you'd see it's a little bit than Jesse Gordon's picture on that. But it was a devastating fire. Here's the latest from the SP Sun. Flames destroyed it. Well, 600,000 square foot warehouse in Redlands on Friday, June 5th, that distributes large items sold by Amazon. The smoke temporarily closed lanes of the nearby 10 freeway. Motorists driving by Friday afternoon could see gaping holes in the CUNY Nagel warehouse. At the interior, there was a pile of smoldering rubble and twisted steel. Fire officials expect a warehouse at 2255 Lagonia Avenue to smolder for days. There were 100 people working inside when the fire was reported. They all got out safely, city spokesman Carl Baker said. So
Wow.
that was good. At least the people that were there working and everybody in got out safely, and there was there didn't seem to be any serious injuries across the board. But yeah, it looks like a total wipeout on the 600,000 square foot warehouse building on that. So expect some delays if you're expecting that package from Amazon out, especially in the IE. It might not be getting there. That next day delivery or 2 hours delivery they were working on, that might be a little bit suspect on that for a
it's probably not gonna
while.
happen.
Because that's I mean, the Merino Valley, they got more. I mean, they got one I think they got one in Ontario, Merino Valley. They got more to pick up the slack. But
What
it's,
a loss, though.
yeah, everything that was in there, and plus they're going to have to pick up the slack. So
Yeah.
I would imagine in the IE, now that a lot of you were dependent on Amazon and this sort of stuff of that because of the whole coronavirus fiasco fandango we've been going through on the deal of that. And there's some of the places, well, we're all going to do by this. Well, this is some of the danger of doing it this way. Now that everybody's dependent on this one deal, you're going to see how that's going to affect your deal. So again, if you're expecting packages from Amazon, I would be
might
expecting.
be waiting a
Yes,
little bit longer.
They're not going to be getting there that 2 hour delivery and next day, and we'll have it on there, especially in the IE on that. So we hope they find the reason why that happened. And
I know. I
so they
wonder
can
what
prevent it.
happened.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
we'll get to that on that. So Mr. Trump kicked off the news of that on that. So have video 2 ready on that. We're going to the deal on that. You know, this month was we were supposed to hit 20% unemployment. There was projected 9 million new claims were going to be in the last month on that, and there was just doom and gloom projections all across the board. So Trump had a press conference on that. So go ahead and roll video 2 of that on the.
Stocks went through the roof today, and others did too. The whole market went through the roof. But they said 9 million job losses, 9 million. It's what going to be. Are we going to break 20%? Are we going to break it? And then the numbers came in, and one of the folks that was reading the numbers said, wow, this is a great number. It's only 3 million job losses. And then reading it and said, I don't think I'm not reading this right. Let me look at it again. Oh, wait a minute. This is 3 million gain almost.
Plus
3 million jobs gained. And then they shouted out, one of them sort of semi-shouted out, is this a typo? I think it was probably the greatest miscalculation in the history of business shows. The history of business shows talking about Wall Street. And that's okay. But one of the reasons we're in this position is because we had such a strong foundation. So we were able to close our country, save millions of lives, open, and now the trajectory is great. Don't forget, New York is barely included, and that's one of our big ones. California is barely included because they're not open, and they should open, by the way. The mayor of Los Angeles wants to keep this thing closed for a long time. Look at what's going on in Florida. It's incredible. The job the governor of Florida has done, it's incredible.
yes.
The numbers they're doing. You've got to open it up, and you do social distancing, and you wear masks if you want, and you do things. You can do a lot of things. You're getting closer together. Even you, I notice you're starting to get much closer together. It looks much better, I must say. You're not all the way there yet, but you'll be there soon. But it's a tremendous thing that happened, and the reason it happened is because we had a really strong patient. We had a patient that was so powerful, so strong, that we could close it and open it. And I give it this analogy. Somebody told me yesterday, it was Larry Kudlow. He said, sir, this is like a hurricane. And we were worried. We didn't know, is this going to be a hurricane or a major, major recession? A major recession that's not artificially caused, because this was artificially closed. We just said, boom, closed. And everything just stopped. And also, you know what else stopped? Big numbers on death by doing it. And that's why I had to do it. We've made every...
So there you go. We stopped it on a dime, but what's getting us back? And even I'm going to get you, for those of you that say, "Oh, don't do Trump," or you never criticize Trump.
Carry on.
The deal of that. I said it when Brian Kemp of Georgia was the first governor to start opening up on this stuff. And President Trump, not 1 but 2 days, said, I disagree with Brian Kemp. I disagree strongly. Brian Kemp was right, was proven right. Look at the job numbers. The doom and gloom artists were 12 million off instead of 9 million job losses. We now have 3 million gained in this last month over that just of a few red states, Texas, Georgia, and Florida, and a few others. Look at who's dragging us down. New York, California. That's why I call them the Siamese twins of governors, Gavin Newsom and Andrew Cuomo.
I thought he was coming around. I'm so disappointed.
He's a piece of
Not
crap.
Gavin, the other guy.
No, he's the one
I thought he was coming around,
No,
though. I
he's
thought he kind of like woke up for a minute.
Well, no, he's the one that
For a
told him,
minute.
oh, yeah, we all the projections were wrong. Well, yeah, you damn well knew they were wrong. You knew that,
Yeah.
that's why they were doing it. Now he's trying to save face on this whole thing and doing it. But what's happening here is we are, California, like he said, California and New York are still dragging this thing down by our stupid policies that we're doing of that, and still doing the lockdowns, and you can't do this and you can't do that, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's absolutely ridiculous on that. So this is have video 3 up, ready to go. And again, we're going to see this is another part of it. Did it work? This is what my whole contention is. This is why Roy is right. I said it. I stood by Brian Kemp. When he did it, I said we should, every state, the other 49, should be hitting the gas pedal, full throttle, 6-gear overdrive. Let's get it. So let's play video 1.
That, and I have to say, even without that, and I don't think you're going to be having to use that in the future, that statement, even without, because I think they're going to have it. But we're going to be back, and we're opening our country, and I hope that the lockdown governors, I don't know why they continue to lock down, because if you look at Georgia, if you look at Florida, if you look at South Carolina, if you look at so many different places that have opened up, I don't want to name all of them, but the ones that are most energetic about opening, they are doing tremendous business, and that this is what these numbers are all about. And you have to remember one other thing very importantly. I think it's extremely important for you to remember that many of our states are closed or almost closed. Some of the big ones, New York, New Jersey, they're starting now to get open, I hope.
There you go. What's precipitated this? Opening up. That's what we have done on the deal.
Right.
That. It didn't take a brain surgeon to figure out. I don't know why Trump, when Brian Kemp did it, why he was hesitating. That was, I'm glad he came around and he's quickly, or has not, is endorsing that policy because it was the right policy. It's the right policy now, and it does that. And we're going to switch gears. Gavin Newsom came on at 12 o'clock noon. So I have video 5 ready on the deal. So this is what is this is about in the middle of his deal, but I've told you it's not about COVID-19, it's about control. Sheriff Chad Bianco said that it's about control. Short clip, here's Gavin Newsom today at the press conference. Roll it.
Argue that these are used as exceptions, but at the end of the day, a carotid hold that literally is designed to stop people's blood from flowing into their brain,
That's number 4.
that has no place any longer in 21st century practices and policing.
Yeah.
And so I am immediately
clip
directing
4. I wanted to
Post,
jump
which is
to
our
5. 5 is the one I wanted of that. So go to the next one of the deal. No, play that one.
This one?
Is it number 5? I told you we
It's
get.
the one, whatever number you had clicked on. This
Go.
is what it was.
please resist normalcy.
Yes.
Normalcy created the conditions that led to this moment.
Stop.
Normalcy has no
No, just hold it there. Just to bring us up on the deal. No, he's saying normalcy brought us to this condition. No, it was government policy that brought us to this condition, Gavin Newsom. Of that, you are the one that created this whole COVID-19 baloney BS. It is your manufactured crisis that caused this. Go ahead, back it up a couple seconds and replay it, or start again. Because you are the one that created this. You are the one, and you're saying, no, we're not returning to normalcy. What have I told you? This
please
is what
resist
they've done.
normalcy.
See, there you go.
Normalcy created the conditions.
Please
that led
resist
to this moment.
normalcy.
Normalcy has no place in terms of our reconciliation of this moment.
I know.
We
It's like,
have to meet a higher calling.
Stop.
We are so much better than this.
Yes, we are better than you, Gavin Newsom. No, resist normalcy. Normalcy started.
you got to do the hand gesture, like you're a gangster.
Yeah, normalcy is when you, in 1776, when they signed the Declaration of Independence, and they said, pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what normalcy of America is, and that's what you are destroying each and every
Yeah,
day.
you know what? He's really disappointing me a lot. It's like with the hand gesture. I mean, come on.
Yes,
You're a
and the ahs and the and that.
But you know what?
funky
I
deal.
feel like he is like on the verge of snapping. Like I bet you anything within like the next month, he's probably gonna like go on a rampage.
I would be too. If I was doing that stupid, and now that he's getting exposed on the whole deal, yeah, I would be nervous too. And that's what we're going to talk with Tom Del BECCARO when he comes up, because Tom Del and Mike Mosier, both of you heard on the show, are teaming up for an effort to recall Gavin Newsom on this deal. So that's what I'm saying is when we're doing all this stuff, of when we're going, of he just makes it. I mean, I want to go into a tirade that would probably get me kicked off the air on this stuff
Please don't.
when he's doing this, because that now anybody. This is what it is all about. They are about control, as Mason Weaver says. This is about keeping you on the plantation. That's what we are not returning to the normalcy. That's what resist it. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about you and all this other stuff. They're trying to put it in the context of George Floyd and we're going to do this, but no, this is the signals they are sending you every day. They're blaming you, they're blaming the police departments, when killings by police have went down steadily for the past few years. All across the board. We are going to put up the article here pretty soon of that before, but have video 4 ready, the one before this, of that, as how he's destroying and has destroyed the criminal, and is going to, along with Garcetti in L.A., destroying the criminal justice system.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
So, play number 4.
This war on drugs. But again, it's not enough. We are proud of the work we've done in the state of California. We announced, and the legislature has embraced, the need to shut down state prisons in our current budget that I will sign in just a few weeks. It calls for shutting down 2 state prisons. It calls for eliminating the Department of Juvenile Justice. It calls for more probation reforms. All of this building on the work that we've done on Prop 57, Prop 47, Prop 36, the work we continue to do in this state to end the death penalty in the state of California. I was proud to sign an executive order on a moratorium on the death penalty because one thing we know about our criminal justice system, it's not blind. It discriminates based on the color of your skin, discriminates based on wealth. It has been said over and over again. It cannot be said enough. We have a criminal justice system. I don't think this. I know this. As governor, I live this every day. A criminal justice system that treats people that are rich and guilty a hell of a lot better than it treats people that are poor and innocent.
There you go. There's the class warfare on that.
Why would he say that?
Because he's an a-hole. And he's trying to, that's how they conquer and
Is he
divide.
trying to like
Yes.
poke you?
Exactly. They're wanting you to hate. They're wanting you to hate this face.
Well, I mean, you do that very well on your own.
Well,
anyways,
yes, I know
but-
I accomplish that a lot. But that's what they want to do. The boogeyman out there, he's always doing.
I know, but you know what? Honestly, like, I'm not into politics. I mean, I am more so now, but before coming on here, like, I never really paid a whole lot of attention to that. But is it me, or does it seem like he's getting a lot worse? Because, like,
Yes.
how have I not paid attention to this or seen it? Like, is he getting worse? I mean, the crap that comes out of his mouth, it's, like,
he's-
mind-boggling.
Again,
Like,
it's like the COVID-19. He was not. Prop 47 and 57, and we'll have Mike Hestron on. I just talked to him the other day. He's the DA of Riverside County. He's pushing for the reforms of 4757, where criminals are going in, robbing stores for less than $950, getting turned loose, not convicted because of Prop 47 and 57 that this ding dong and Jerry Brown passed. We've got to reform it. He's against it. Exact policy.
why would you be closing down prisons?
Because he's an idiot. Because they have no money. They spend it all when the good times, now that we have this crisis, this ding-dong created a $54 billion hole in, now your schools are going to get cut. That's why they're cutting the cops. They're using the excuse of, police brutality. That's BS. They know they do not. They are totally beyond broke. They have systematically bankrupted the whole frickin' governments of California in this whole process. And now they're trying to cover their tracks. They're trying to blame it on somebody else, and that it is squarely on our leaders' failure of public policy of why this is. And again, their egos will not allow them to admit we blanked up big time on this. That is what is the crime in this whole thing. Have video 6 up and roll that. I can't even remember what it was, but we'll play it and I'll.
Or he's on a rampage.
Yes, on the deal on that. So when you got 6 ready, yes, I think I remember what it was. Go ahead and run it.
We can argue that these are used as exceptions, but at the end of the day, a carotid hold that literally is designed to stop people's blood from flowing into their brain, that has no place any longer in 21st century practices and policing. And so I am immediately directing POST, which is our police officers training, to end the training of that practice. And I could not be more pleased. No sooner did we make a commitment on this proposal that a member of the legislature, Mike Gibson, to his credit, just introduced a piece of legislation that I will support and sign as soon as it gets to my desk to legislatively end that practice in the state of California. We did that years and years ago as it relates to chokeholds, decades ago, understandably, but not some of these techniques on strangleholds, and we have got to update our practices.
Really?
In that place.
So
No, they need to learn that because you need to learn what can happen and how to stop it. Why the frick would you take that away? I caught it. I caught it.
Stephanie.
What?
So if somebody's attacking you, your family, your kids, or anything, or a police officer or whatever,
Right.
do you care what sort of, whether it's a gun, the chaotic chokeholds, guns, or it's the same thing about guns. Get rid of the guns, nobody will get shot.
Right.
Get rid of the chokeholds, nobody will die. That's the reason police brutality. No, they use somebody's coming at you with meth, jacked up on meth or drugs or something. They are like got superhuman strength. That
Right.
maybe that's the only technique. What do you want to do? Shoot them? Or
No, I want to take my little pixie fairy thing and say no.
yeah,
And then maybe they'll stop.
and you'll see how that works out
Yeah.
for you. No, when somebody
Why? Okay, but to me, why would you, the governor of California, why would you want to take away any possibility of your police officers that are serving to keep
Yes.
your state safe? Why would you want to take that away from them?
because they want to blame. They know they got to cut the
I mean,
costs.
I get it. I get why maybe you want to act like you're making a change, but that's just stupid. That's just dumb. It's
Roll
like taking away their training.
Yes.
Why would you take away
Roll
their
Find the
training?
Garcetti article up there on there.
I don't know what you're saying.
That if I had it up there, the one. Yes, that's it.
You ready?
Yes, this one on that. Garcetti. L.A. Police Union blasts Garcetti's killers' comments of proposed budget cuts. Last night, Eric Garcetti was at a black church, I think, down in L.A., and called, here it is, this is in the L.A. Daily News. Police union representing 99,000 plus Los Angeles Police Department officers on Friday condemned Mayor Eric Garcetti's leadership, denouncing his use of killers in a speech before. He used the killers in conjunction with the cops and all that, and he's trying to blame it on the new Minnesota deal. But Garcetti is cutting $150 million out of the L.A. police budget because he has no money. He's trying to blame everything else. Further, to quote Jamie of the police union, we are worried about him and his future and our safety as our citizens, said Jamie McBride, LAPD detective who serves as the union board of directors. He is clearly unstable. The union said during its press conference offered no substance to back up the charge the mayor was suffering any mental health issue. McBride criticized Garcetti's pledge to cut $100 million to $150 million from LAPD's budget, the department's $1 billion plus budget set to receive $120 million increase prior to the protest. So they're really getting cut $250 million.
Wow.
Of that, 25% of their budget is getting cut, mainly because they're broke. But Garcetti, look at Garcetti in L.A., Gavin Newsom, the ding-dongs up in San Francisco, they're all doing this crap to us. They're making that. Supervisor Manny Perez, not as bad, but he was on the press conference and we didn't have time to get the tape rolled up on that stuff. But he said that, he's going on about, we got to look into this and da-da-da-da-da, and talking about how this country started and we're all as a bunch of racist country and all this and the da-da-da. Well, that has been going on for decades, so why are we even talking about it?
Right.
We are not a systemic racist country. All the rhetoric that you keep spewing that just propels that perception out there that was not there. Police killings were down. We will do the one. Have me the article on the one of the.
So if he does all
number
this
one, I
budget
think.
cuts, is he going to go sit his happy little butt in a police car
Yes.
and go patrol the streets?
Number one.
He should.
First one over. Of that. The truth behind racial disparities in fatal police shootings. On top of the deal. This is from the Michigan study on that and the truth about that. Reports of racially motivated fatal shootings by police officers have garnered extensive public attention and sparked activism across the nation. New research from Michigan State University and the University of Maryland reveals findings that flip many of these reports on their heads. While white police officers are not more likely to have shot minority citizens than non-white officers. Until now, there has never been a systematic nationwide study to determine the characteristics of police involved in fatal officer shootings, said Joseph Cicero, co-author and professor of psychology of MSU. There are so many examples of people saying that when black citizens are shot by police. It's white officers shooting them. In fact, our findings show no support that black citizens are more likely to be shot by white officers. The findings published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences are based on independent database and Cisneros and his team created and cataloged each police shooting from 2000.
1 minute.
The team, also led by co-author David Johnson from the University of Maryland, contacted every police department that had a fatal shooting to get race, sex, and years of experience for every officer involved in each incident. The team also leveraged data from police shooting databases in the Washington Post and the Guardian. We found that the race of the officer doesn't matter when it comes to predicting whether black and white citizens are shot, Cisneros said, if anything, black
30 seconds.
citizens are more likely to have been shot by black officers because black officers are drawn to the same population as police. So are white officers on whites and Hispanics on Hispanics. There you go.
Here we go.
There's
10
the
seconds.
facts. We'll be
Go to
back in a second.
KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
That's Funky Fly Guitar Music. Comes on every 5:30 on the Mighty Met 1490 KMET on a Fast Friday. On that and fast it is. The news has been moving fast and furious and fantastic across the day. We had and go ahead and roll video one, just a little bit of showing. This is video from Jesse Gordon, Batman. He's the figure eights at Paris Auto Speedway of that. And this is the big news in the IE, non-related to the COVID and the riots and everything. Was a big fire going on at the Amazon warehouse in Redlands off the 10 freeway. There you're seeing some video of it that was caught. This was about 6 o'clock in the morning. You can see, I guess the whole building was a total loss. The good news is nobody, there were about 100 people inside, but nobody seemed to suffer any serious injuries, but the building is a total loss. So if you're expecting some Amazon packages on that, on that 2-hour delivery or next day or whatever, don't expect that too much on that. We ran through some of the stuff on the on stat. We ran through the Trump hearings that. Big $12 million blowing on the prediction that we were going to have 9 million job loss this month. The reports are actually that we gained 3 million in the United States, led by Georgia, Florida, and Texas, the states that are opening. California and New York are dragging us down because they are resisting opening. We went through that. Gavin Newsom on top of that is trying, and Eric Garcetti of L.A., and I can't remember the ding-dongs up in San Francisco, are trying to tear down our criminal justice system. They're pulling money off of the police officers and trying to blame the cops instead of themselves for mismanaging our budget. This is my proposal. Or you want to take a knee? It should be all of you politicians that did all these mailers and videos and scare tactics over all these years, and you've got them in the mail. If you don't pass this tax increase, public safety is going to be cut. Police officers will not, when you call 911, they will not respond. When you have a fire, the fire department's going to close. And your schools, your kids are going to face locked schools and parks and everything else. They were lying sacks of blank. They should be the ones on their knees to every one of us taxpayers telling us they were lying, and I think this proves it. All you union heads and stuff that were putting the pressure on me and people that were supporting this show, that were doing that and saying that, you no longer have any excuse. And again, open microphones, you can come in here and defend it, because I don't think there is any doubt in anyone's mind now. It has been a ruse. You've been used as props. Now you're seeing what the danger was in doing that. Now they're coming after you, police officers, deputy sheriffs. They're cutting your budgets. They're blaming you. They're making martyrs out of you to save their own hide. We played the clip or the article of Jamie McBride from the LA Police Protective League down there. Said Garcetti's out of his mind. He's unstable of this, trying to blame us for this, calling us killers, and Garcetti's trying to backtrack, but Garcetti knows exactly what he's doing. So did Gavin Newsom at his press conference that we played earlier, of destroying our our criminal justice system that he did with 47, 57, and all that stuff. And eliminating your techniques that you need to come home to your family safely, taking away the techniques that if somebody's dangerous, like the catahoid hold or whatever it's called,
I can't believe he wants to take that away. That to me is just that's insane.
They are endangering you. So this was the danger. This is what the
that's not right.
No, this was the
They should just take their guns away.
Yes, it's exactly the same point.
And their handcuffs. I mean, why do you need those either? You're not going to be able to put them anywhere.
Because one cop in Minneapolis in Minnesota abused that technique. We're going to eliminate it across the whole state of California. It's the exact same thing of we'll take away all the guns and nobody will get shot. It's exactly the opposite. That is not the problem. They're coming after you now. Now you want support for doing that? Well, support is a two-way street. Let's start telling the truth all across the board. And again, the ones that should be taking the knee are the politicians that have been complicit in this for decades up until this point and are doing it now. They're lying to you. They're giving you false narratives. And on top of that, they're taking, like Gavin Newsom. We played the clip earlier. We're not resist resist normalcy.
Yeah, why would you say that?
Because
what the I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
That means I have been
I'm
saying.
so confused.
Have I been saying that? When they say that's why they want the new normal, there is no new normal.
There is no new normal.
Yes.
There is no
They
normal.
are making slaves and subservience and making you dependent on them. That's what this whole thing is all about. And if we don't resist that, none of this other stuff is going to matter. It's a mute point. So I'm hoping, and I know a lot of the law enforcement officers and firefighters and school administrators, because a lot of you come up to me, when we're talking, or just, I really like what you're saying, but I can't say anything about it because I'm afraid of my job or whatever. Well, what happens when your job goes away, or they take away your techniques, or you don't come home because you are dead? Because they took away your ability to defend yourself against the criminals you're trying to protect us from. This is how serious this is. And we can't change what went on before. We can't do that on top of that. But what we can do is affect the future. And one guy we have coming up here who's got a proposal here to affect the future, and I think it's time we jump on board on this. It's a world fame. I think he's even I think we could call him a Harvard-educated lawyer as he's shaking my head at me. He's actually a really brilliant guy, defender of freedom and liberty on that, along with that. I think he's teaming up, and correct me if I'm wrong, with Mark Moisier on that, with a Recall Gavin Newsom 2020. He's got a new posting out that we just had that, a record of failure. Sign the petition at recallgavin2020.com. The guy that's spearheading this effort, Tom Del BECCARO. Welcome to the IE Newswire Daily with Stephanie and Roy.
It's great to see Stephanie and you.
I know you're qualifying the "and you" part, but go ahead.
So listen, it's no longer possible just to sit by and watch this and say this is acceptable. The record failure of Gavin Newsom is comprehensive. Let's use that word. Last year, we had the wildfires and PG&E shutdowns, and the economy was shaken over that. That is, of course, on top of the fact that this state can't provide consistent water supplies to farmers, our number one industry and most important industry to the country. They have a proposal to do 50 gallons a day per person. The water situation's a mess. So prior to this year, we couldn't deliver electricity. Big tech was threatening to leave. We can't deliver water. And now this year, we can't even guarantee safety. The out of control nature of what's going on in California, up and down the state, and Newsom's absence, his inability to bring people together is staggering. And of course, we have our California economy now facing a $54 billion government deficit. That is, of course, a world record for a state. And it's ridiculous. There is no excuse for managing it. He's going to say COVID. But the truth is he chose the COVID policies. He didn't have to shut down everywhere. He could have left some places open. He could have reacted sooner, but he has not. He has bought into his Nancy Pelosi's theory that we should shut down the whole state through the rest of the year far too long. And so he has mismanaged this state, Gavin Newsom, in epic proportions. And it's just starting because PG&E is going to be doing more shutdowns. He's going to want to raise taxes, and he wants to gut Prop 13. None of that has to happen. We need better leadership. And the leadership we need starts with removing Gavin Newsom, which is why in the last 10 days, I have looked at this hard, and I've decided that now is the time to support the recall of Gavin Newsom. We had an incredible phone call last night among volunteers, over 700 volunteers on the call.
Wow.
Where I was speaking. If you go to recallgavin2020.com, you can sign up there. The petition we expect to be available on the website probably Tuesday. And I'll also have a second special announcement. My big announcement today is that I've joined the recall effort. I'm going to be one of their communications people. And now is the time to put California back on the road to recovery. And that starts with turning out Gavin Newsom.
I couldn't agree more on the whole deal on that. I mean, we recalled Gray Davis over the electricity kerfuffle of 2003 and tripling the car tax. And I mean, that's infinitesimal to what's going on today. I mean, I don't even know how he's surviving. Him and Eric Garcetti cutting 100 to 150 million on top of wiping out the $120 million budget increase that was supposed to go on with LAPD. Like and then trying to blame the cops, calling them killers and all that. The Jamie McBride from LA Police Protective League and the police union just going apoplectic over this, that. They're using this as to cover their own faults of spending us, mismanaging, scaring us to death over this whole thing, and now they want to try and blame everybody else but the politicians themselves that have caused this, Tom.
And keep in mind, big tax increases is a way of shifting blame. Instead of managing this state and leading it through this difficult period of time, and creating a situation where our businesses can open, they continue to have it shut down. If your viewers look at my ridiculously long hair, it's not even legal for me to get a haircut in my own county. We just went through a curfew process. So this isn't even, the end isn't even here yet. And, you saw nationwide a big pickup in jobs, and we're quite hopeful with all of that so that this recovery can get back on track. But here in California, there isn't going to be recovery back on track because of the size of the deficit, the problems that Gavin Newsom, with the tax increases he's going to push through, are going to leave us in trouble. And the number of cities and counties throughout this state that are flat out going to be in either bankruptcy or in a horrible position about needing to raise taxes, it's difficult to understand how big that truly will be.
Yes, it is. I mean, the situation has become beyond critical on this. I mean, and if we don't take, we the citizens, I mean, like you're starting that, if we don't take corrective action, and I mean big time on this, I mean, the acceleration of going down the tubes is that, and I don't know if you caught Trump's press conference today, but we actually had 3 million jobs created or, back on track in that versus the 9 million that were predicted that were going to be added on. And they said Georgia, Texas, Florida are responsible for this. California and New York that haven't opened up, or like say you can't get a haircut in there. Look at my hair's going on that same thing. We're still locked down. They're carrying the water for us across of that. And if we don't turn this around in areas in the blue states that are still trying to run this control lockdown deal, not only us are going to be dragged down, but this does not bode well for the United States because New York and California, project a big economic punch.
It's over 15% of the,
yes.
or I'm sorry, 20% of the country's economy, and that's not accidental. They're not in a rush to bail out this president or care enough about their constituents. They don't want a solid recovery. But you know what? That's bad leadership because this isn't about them. It isn't even about California. It should not be about the nation, about deciding who's going to be the president. I mean, what they should be about is giving people a secure environment, giving them the basic necessities. Keep in mind, California already has the largest budget. We already are taxed the highest in the nation. What are we getting for it? Not a stable electricity, not stable water supplies, nor are we even having safety at this point. Earlier this week, there was a protest 500 yards from my office. Somebody got shot. I mean, that's how bad it is in California. And the Walnut Creek, which is a main shopping center in this state, is still boarded up. So either we make a choice here to reject Gavin Newsom's current leadership, or this is what we can expect for years to come, I'm afraid.
Exactly. I mean, you see how quickly it declined. If we don't stop this now, you reach that point of no return. And I think we're getting very close to that point of no return, especially in California. And if we the citizens don't take drastic action to stop that, I don't even want to think of the results of that.
Yeah, so recall Gavin 2020.com, recallgavin2020.com is where people can go. At the start of the week, there'll be a link to download the petitions. You'll be able to sign the petition and turn that in. But what we really need people to do is sign up and then go out there and get signatures. You can download a form that, you can get 5 signatures and you're able to mail it to the address that you'll see there. And we need a lot of signatures, but I'm already seeing a lot of enthusiasm for this up and down the state. And look, it's not as if Gavin is making a lot of friends. He's putting people out of business. They have a right to go to church. They have a right to open up their business. And he overplayed the COVID shutdown, and he continues to do that.
Do we have how long do you have to collect the signatures? Do you know that?
It'll be 160 days from the day they're released by the Secretary of State, which will be Monday or Tuesday. So you have 160 days, and then they certify it. That takes a period of time. And then they have a special election. So 160 days is almost 6 months. So that takes you through June, July, August, September, October, November. Probably takes 30, 40 days to certify. And so you're looking at an election somewhere next February or March for the recall.
And I did put the link in the comment section, so anyone that is looking to find that, it should be listed in there. And also go to Tom Del BECCARO's Facebook page, and they can also sign up through there, correct?
Correct. Yeah, you can get it to there as well. Thanks so much.
I'm assuming you're going to have to need about 1.5 million or so good signatures on this, so you have to get about 2 million signatures in 160 days. So it is a pretty big effort.
Yeah, it is a big effort, but we have a lot of volunteers. A lot of people have signed up, but you can never have too many that. And then next week, I have another big announcement with respect to me in the state of California, additional thing I'm going to be doing to try and help out. So hopefully next week you'll indulge me again.
I wonder what it is.
Yeah, we'll leave it on that
The
little
suspense is
cliffhanger
driving
of
me
that.
insane.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Tom to do this announcement on the show of that. But thanks a lot. Catch him on Political Vanguard, TomDell.com, Fox Business News, all across the board. Thanks a lot for being on with us,
Bye, Tom.
All right, see you guys.
So there you go. The recall effort is on Gavin Newsom. On that, we have a little less than 6 monds about.
And like he said, I've seen a lot of excitement. He released it today, and I've already seen a lot of comments and shares and everything.
I mean, again, like I said, we recalled Gray Davis in 2003 over the electricity kerfuffle and tripling the car tax. And like I say, that pales in comparison to what's going on now or what they've got in store.
And I think a lot of people, like myself, are starting to wake up and kind of see who he really is and how he is going about things. Thanks for educating me on that one. I liked being in my bubble under my rock. I was a hell of a lot happier then. Just so you know.
Well, now maybe you can have a little bit of empathy for me to see why, sometimes.
Why you're so grumpy?
Well,
I get it.
When people are not listening, sometimes you have to beat the pots and pans a little louder to make them pay
Why?
attention.
I try to beat you with my stick all the time and it doesn't work.
But it really is, and that's why hopefully everyone is paying attention or is taking a bigger look at this because, like I say, we're systematically destroying everything that we built up over 200 plus years in America on that, and over 150 years in the state of California, and so on. And again, I don't know, I think, and I don't know about you, but I certainly don't want to have people look back in history and say, okay, this was the generation that lost it all, that we blew it. Because that's not going to be I'm sure. I would guess the vast majority of us would not want to be remembered that way. At least I don't. But it takes a little bit of effort of that. Join into the effort. Get the petitions. Go out there and get them. That's a monumental effort. That's a lot. To get 2 million signatures of the.
Okay, can those signatures come from another state, or do they all have to come from California?
You have to be a registered voter in the state of California.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. So those of you that might not have known that.
So I think we have
Jesse.
I think we have around 17 to 20 million registered voters in California. So, 2 million of that is a pretty good, that's like, you got to get about 20% of the registered voters in the state to sign that petition, and then it's on like that. It
can be done.
Oh yeah, we did it. Like I say, that we did it in 2003 with Gray Davis.
Right.
And like I say, that was that seems like tiddlywinks compared to what's going on now.
Did you just say tiddlywinks?
Yeah, I just said tiddlywinks on that. So
I don't even know what that means. Is it really? Shut up.
Oh,
is it really a game? All right, anyways.
Oh boy.
Games and buckets. Kick the can. Okay.
Well, we got to have a little levity in the proceedings, else we would all really go crazy.
We really would.
But no, it is. Newsom uses this word.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Collaboration and cooperation. Well, we all should collaborate to get rid of this scumbag once and for all. And this time, let's not elect another ding-dong. And more importantly, and we've talked a lot about it, pay attention and really look at who you're electing at your local levels. All across the down ballot, as they call them, or the other offices.
So what you're saying is we can't pick them because they're cute?
Yes.
Damn it.
This is the reason we are in the pickle we are in of that. And that's a metaphor of it, but
I know.
People,
I'm just being silly.
As them, no, and it is.
Stephen Wright said we need Arnold back.
No, for Christ. For Christ's sakes, not Arnold.
Who was worse, though? Exactly. Stephen's point has been proven.
Yeah, see, that's why we don't need Arnold. Don't get me started on the Republican Party and the whole stupid thing that went on over that recall.
Oh, you're getting him pissed off, Stephen.
Go back and look at
back
and look in the history. I said, if you elect Arnold Schwarzenegger to succeed Gray Davis, you just guaranteed Gray Davis's third term. What did you get? Bonds, taxes, and the whole and a deficit and a crash and the whole 9 yards. I predicted it. I said it before that because they hijacked that. All of us Tom McClintock supporters, basically, that got that recalled on. And then the Republican Party came in and said, don't vote for Tom McClintock, vote for Arnold because he didn't win. And the one poll that was out there, the exit poll, said if people would have took their first choice, Tom McClintock would have beat the other 148 candidates by 50% or more to win all of them, including Arnold. But they didn't because the Republican Party told them not to vote for Tom McClintock. This is why when the establishment, as they're trying to do today, tries to hijack the system, they are doing it to control you. They're not doing it to help you. You're not getting nothing free.
Are you sure?
They're a way to take away your freedom, your quality of life, your future, your kids' future, and future generations.
To come.
You got it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
I never will. How's that?
That was good.
We did everything backwards.
We totally did. I don't know what's happening. I hope someone's paying attention out there. I'm just kidding.
Oh, it would be nice.
It would be.
And I think, and hopefully, if this whole fiasco, fandango, after the COVID, with the whole rioting things,
Don't forget the Hornets. Why do the killer Hornets keep getting left out?
Yeah, they all died of COVID-19.
Oh, okay.
COVID-19 wiped out all the killer Hornets because they didn't social distance or wear masks. It makes about as much logic as what the whole thing we've been going through on that. And like I say, tell me one thing that I made an error in judgment or didn't predict in this whole enchilada thing.
I'll bring my list on Monday.
Yes.
And anybody else that has any ideas that he was wrong on, please send them in.
That list is going to look like this blank
Oh,
piece
shut
of paper.
up.
Of that. We'll be back on Monday
probably right,
on that
too.
with the show on that on IE Newswire Daily and KMET.
We're done. Have a good weekend. Nothing.